Hey guys, this is Cosmic. Once again, just wanted to bring you a guide on the Rathma build for the Necromancer. So I just uploaded a guide for the LOD Nova. This is going to be for the Rathma. This one's going to get a better clear time for most people as long as you can survive. So for starters, same gem is the star of the show here. It's the hitting enemies with cold damage has a 50% chance to freeze them. This is really OP on Necromancers. There's pretty much one other build. It's the Frenzy Barb is able to make really good use of this as well. But Necromancers make even better use of it. So this is going to be with the Ring of Fire. For most people, if your pace is like 5 minutes or faster, 5 minutes or slower, Ring of Fire is just better for that. If you're killing elites yourself, once you get to that point where you're killing elites yourself, your times are going to be like under 3 minutes, and you're going to transition into the blue gem for more damage, just like the speed build. So this gem here would be what you'd be using at the end of the game. If you guys look back at the season leaderboards, actually, this is apparent at the end, except for they would be using squirts and convention. I'm going to show you guys that you can use this build with Endless Walk. So I think I have a Better Traveler's Pledge that I literally just got to sitting around here somewhere. Well, can't find it today, but that's fine. Traveler's Pledge, self-explanatory, crit, physical. You're taking physical skills damage, crit chance here. I like area damage and cooldown on this one, but you could go crit damage and cooldown depending on how much area damage you have rolled. RCR is a good noob option here, but you can go increase damage to elites if you're not too much of a noob. But if you're watching this guide, the idea is I want to make Rathma more accessible to people. This season, Rathma is super accessible because you get more toughness than normal. You get the Crisbin's procs. That basically gives you frailty for free. It's just super strong and super easy to play. So the Endless Walk set, you don't need crit chance here, so if you get one rolls like this, you're good to go. Area damage, crit damage, and cooldown would be my pick here. Quad-fecta gloves are actually pretty handy, so try to go for those if you can, but I would favor cooldown over area damage. There's no reason not to have area damage and cooldown on your shoulders. That's just too easy to get, so make sure that you have area damage at least there, and try to get it on your weapon as well. The three spots where I would say it's fairly easy to get is these three slots. So if you can get area damage on these three, you're good to go. And that's pretty much what I have. Although I've got area damage here. I got some better primal gloves that don't have area damage. I think those are still better though, because it just tons of intelligence. So yeah, basically this build is really similar to the speed build that I presented before, so we don't really need to go over too much. The only difference here is I'm going to be running the Dark Mending rune. I recommend this for most of you guys. Some would say this is a hardcore option, but I disagree. I think that this makes the build a lot more fun to play because you're healing constantly and you're not just falling down to 0 HP really fast. So in this case, we don't want to worry about attack speed breakpoints, so we can just turn attack speed up all the way. I'm going to go ahead and dump 500 points of Paragon into Vitality because this build's a little squishy. Even built like this, it's just one of those builds that a little bit of Vitality goes a long way. So overall, I think I pretty much covered between the last guide and this one, I pretty much covered the importance of everything. If you guys haven't seen the other guide, go ahead and watch that first because I go over all the skills and stuff like that. So now I'm just going to hop straight into some gameplay. I'm going to make sure that our armory is saved here. Now this is the build that you're going to want to set up in the armory. This is the golem build. This allows you to play. Okay, so we're gonna take cooldown on everything, right? Doesn't matter what the items are really. We just want to make sure to have the Ring of Royal Grandeur. We can go ahead and cube that, right? Flavor Time is an easy cooldown roll, so I have that on. Just as much cooldown as we can get. I don't have a Soul Shard equipped because I just want more cooldown from the Leo's Helm. I've got the 2 pieces of Born set, which gives me cooldown, and I've got 2 pieces of Crimsons, which gives me cooldown. Beyond that, we want to come down here and cube the Golem Skin Breeches. This reduces the cooldown of Command Golem. We only really need 3 skills to look at. Commander of the Risen Dead passive, reduce the cooldown of Golem. Flesh Golem, drops corpses on the ground. Molting, drops corpses on the ground. So here's what we're going to do. Going to come to the Armory, equip this build. Going to Blood Rush, cast Golem, tons of corpses, Blood Rush. Now, going to equip the Rathma solo build, and we're going to open a 150. Now if we open a bad map like that, we're just going to go ahead and go back, close. And if you open a bad map, just go ahead and close. And put a timer on for about 2 minutes. And then here's a map that we can play, right? So we don't want to just run in. Notice how I ran into the map and now my corpses are gone. So this is what happens. If you run into the map like that, you lose your corpses. So now I'm going to show you how to do it correctly. That's what you don't want to do. Okay. So the golem is up. There we go. We have our corpses. Now we're going to equip the Rathma build. Now this time, let's say I want to play that map. I come back, there's my corpses, I revive, now I have my revives. Now I'm just going to dance around with Blood Rush. This is going to give me tons of armor. I'm going to stop to siphon just to heal from stuff. And now see, I've got this effect here stacking up to 75. Now that I have that full, boom, here's a nice map. Now we have all our buffs, right? So I'm going to go ahead and cast Curse on the pack, Army of the Dead, and then make sure to hold down Siphon Blood while casting Army of the Dead. So see how easy this is to kill stuff? Notice how fast I got procced there. Now at this point, once you get procced, you're going to want to play kind of defensively. So what I recommend doing here, Blood Rush before your DPS, and then Blood Rush again. When you keep up that potency buff and your endless walk buff, you won't be dying, right? So as long as you're kind of scared of dying, just keep Blood Rushing. Siphon, 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 Blood Rush, hold down Siphon, and cast Army of the Dead, and just keep Blood Rushing. Notice I have 58 stacks. There's a conduit, so this is going to be kind of an easy one. So now, we're not going to do any amount of standing still at all. All we're going to do is Blood Rush around, kill everything. I'm going to drop the Ring of Fire there. Okay, so we're going to stay in endless walk mode. That means while we're moving, we take less damage. Because I'm going to wait for my procs to come back. So just kind of dancing around the enemies. Easy peasy, right? And we still have our proc active, so we just want to play careful. Keep up that potency buff by Blood Rushing every 2 seconds. Seems like a weird way to play, but as long as this buff is up, this 100% increased armor, you won't really have much to worry about. So that guy didn't want to get into the ring. That's okay. We're going to go ahead and take him out anyway. Now when you get a shield pylon, you're going to feel nice and cozy. But notice that I have no cheat deaths active. I want to save that shield pylon for after both my cheat deaths have been activated. Normally, if you're getting into the advanced build, this would give you your Squirts buff plus COE. So then you'd have all that damage from Endless Walk all the time, plus COE. So shield pylon can be huge once you get to the point where you're playing the more conventional build. But at this point, shield's just going to make us cozy. I'm just going to play a little bit more aggressively now with the Endless Walk. So I'm going to just kind of stand still Uh, Notice that I stand still here. I have 100. So I'm going to cast the buff and dive in. And then see I've landed the Ring of Fire right where I wanted it. Now I just want to pull enemies with Army of the Dead directly into that Ring of Fire. Now if I end up just chilling here, able to DPS constantly like this without clicking the shield pylon, then we take it and go. Okay, I procced. And don't really want to take that until I absolutely need to. So let's see, this guy's getting pretty low. Let's see if we can take him down. Not too impressed with that hit. Let's try this again. Okay, pretty good damage there. Okay, then we curse him, and he's gone. So we're going to go ahead and take the shield pylon now. And in this case, I'm seeing a few trash monsters. I'm at 52 stacks. I've got a shield pylon. I'm going to go ahead and take the free Ring of Fire stacks, pull everything together, and just blood rushing right before my damage rotation like that, just for a little bit extra damage. 58 stacks, blood rush, hold siphon, and Army of the Dead. Now we're at 96 stacks, right? So this is a great example. We're going to come in here. We've got a speed pylon, which is not really what we're looking for. Now, with 96 stacks, I would prefer to burn some blues, some champion elites, but it looks like we've got a yellow here. So, gonna go ahead and take the extra time that we have from the shield pylon and just kind of see if we can pull something together here. Gonna burn as much as we can. So now we have a Ring of Fire here, and just try to pull enemies into the Ring of Fire with that Army of the Dead. Now the reason that I'm actually showing the entire gameplay for this build and not the Nova build is because this build does not need to fish for anything on the boss fight. So really easy to just finish off elites after they've been in the Ring of Fire. So that's one of the nice traits of this build, is we just have that luxury. So I'm going to go in, we've got 75 stacks. I feel like, based on that map, I'm just going to go ahead and finish it off on this one. So 75 stacks. Big booties, big spiders, not really the best mob type, so unfortunate. But we're up to 81 stacks here. Okay, 85. Now I'm going to just come up here, see if I can find any more elites. Looks like we've got potentially enough progress here. So let's go ahead and come up, and it's a quite precarious spot to fight here. Not the biggest fan of that spot right there, but gonna go ahead and just go into defense mode here, blood rushing, and to make sure everything's cursed. So this guy right here, he's pretty low, so I'm gonna see if I can kind of fish him out of there. Looks like we're on proc, double proc. Now it looks like he's finally coming down. Yeah, kind of a tricky spot to fight in because the Army of the Dead isn't wanting to target. So now we curse, and we've got a boss. So I'm going to go ahead and lure the boss somewhere where I want to fight. Really easy on the boss fight. We just blood rush, and then stay at range for the Zaze buff. And just hold down Siphon, and easy peasy. So this was just a random key, and we clear a 150 right here on a video. Not a lot of builds you can do that with so easily. The thing is, the boss fight on a lot of builds is kind of particular. The boss fight on this build is pretty chill. If you get an ad boss, though, it can be kind of frustrating. So what I'm going to do now that I have a lot of stricken on this guy, I'm just going to stand here for a minute, leave him alone, and then this time I'm going to freeze him. Let him jump around a little bit there. So this time I'm going to freeze him and then cast Army of the Dead and do a lot more damage. So notice how we got a long freeze there, did a lot more damage. That's because he builds up resistance to the freeze. So then by waiting for a little bit, not attacking him, he's going to drop that resistance to the freeze, and then you're going to hit a lot harder. So if you have a power pylon, you're just going to hit him with like 2 or 3 cycles on this particular build, and he's just going to die. So that's basically it. Hope this helps you guys. I mean, I think that just about anybody can get a 150 clear with this setup. It's really straightforward, and I hope this helps answer any questions you guys have when you're looking at the leaderboard and wonder, how do they survive, or how do they get that build going? How do you kill anything? Yada yada. So take care, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.